wanting to feel better from anxiety and panic but are not quite sure if you'll ever feel better, I speak to people all of the time that don't necessarily feel like they can feel better, get better from anxiety, get better from panic, and they are just putting up with it. They know that they want things to change, but they're putting up with it because they don't really think it will. Now, I really get this, but I want to share some light on what the truth actually is. So I really get that when you've been suffering with anxiety and panic for years and you've been to your GP and maybe you've had medication but you're still experiencing anxiety and panic, then of course it makes sense, doesn't it, that you feel like nothing's going to change and that it might be like that forever. Also, I know, and people again and clients that I work with have often had previous support. So maybe they have been to their GP, maybe they've had access to CBT or a different type of therapy. And again, some people report different responses to that, but some report to me that still hasn't made the difference. So again, I completely understand that your belief may be that you've already tried some stuff, you've been to the GP, you've tried doing, self-help or exercise, or you've even tried different therapies. But what might be missing, or the missing piece to it might be that you haven't found the missing piece might be that you haven't found the right therapist for you. You haven't used an approach that is best suited for you. So with anxiety and panic, a lot of the approaches out there works with the conscious. So it works with your conscious brain. This is your prefrontal cortex, the 5% that actually manages your thinking, behaviours, habits, those types of things. But 5%, so when you're in talking therapy, this is actually only working with the 5% of your whole being. So you can see how that's quite limiting. So when I use subconscious work with my clients and things like hypnotherapy as an approach, we actually get access to the 95% of your subconscious. This is where everything is happening on autopilot. It's your thinking, your feeling, your responses. It's absolutely everything. And if you're not or haven't already harnessed the power of your subconscious, then I definitely invite you to do so, because I know that you may believe that change isn't possible, especially when you've done all of the things that I've just spoken about. So you've been to the GP, you've been on medication, you have accessed talking therapy or, CBT, maybe you have read self-help books, etc., but things aren't changing. I can understand why you would think that things wouldn't change, but I absolutely promise that things can change and be different. I am proof of that, and my clients are too. So even clients that come to me that are completely skeptical about hypnotherapy and how that can work, or skeptical that they can even get better, they absolutely do make progress in sessions. And I'm smiling because they're usually quite shocked. They're like, oh, so skeptical, I didn't think it would work, and then it's like something has lifted, a switch has been flipped that they've not been able to do by themselves. And those sessions are just so incredible. I absolutely love having those sessions where people didn't think it was possible, and then they come back and they feel, after the session, they feel so much better. It's incredible. And also sharing a little bit of my own story. So I know that it is possible because I have been in places where I have had acute anxiety. I've had panic, I've had panic attacks, panic episodes, I've had PTSD, and notice that I say had, because these are things that I have recovered from. I've talked about overthinking before. If there was a medal for overthinking, I'd be there with you. And, you know, it used to keep me up at night. I would replay situations in my head. I'd overthink emails and messages. I'd worry about what people were thinking about me, etc., etc. I've been there in the mix of really heightened anxiety where I cannot relax. There's one story where I did yoga. This was some years ago, and I couldn't ever understand why people would do yoga, because I found it torture. Like, I was not able to relax. I didn't find it relaxing. It was torture for me. It was an hour full of my brain giving the space to absolutely go wild. So I used to come out of yoga feeling so much worse because of my anxious state. So anyway, a little bit digressed, but I just want to let you know I've been there. And I've been on those dark moments in time where you're like, will things get better? How are things going to get better? And they absolutely can, with the right strategies and support for you that is unique for you. So I do share stuff and tips and things that are helpful on my Instagram feed. But Instagram is not therapy, and it's not personalised to you. And there's no way of us going deep into hypnotherapy through Instagram. It's just not therapy. So if you're feeling like, you know, you've tried some things and it doesn't feel like things can get better for you, I'd like to be your hope and let you know that things can absolutely be better. It might just be that you haven't yet found the right therapist for you, and you haven't found the right approach. And if you haven't yet harnessed the power of hypnotherapy, and you're curious about how this can work for you, then reach out to me. I'm happy to share more about how it works. It's an absolute passion of mine, and it is my purpose to support you, really, to help you to feel better. So yeah, this is really what I wanted to come on and share today. And also, just for the last point, one thing I do know for certain is if you don't feel like you can get better and you're not taking steps or doing anything different to feel better, then ultimately you're likely to continue to feel the same. So anxious, panicky, rubbish, overthinking, fearing situations, avoiding things, because it takes doing something different to get a different result. And again, I've been there where I've just allowed time to hopefully heal me, but that doesn't always work. And how long are you going to wait? So I hope that has been helpful. I love to ask for you to share questions with me, ask me questions. I'm here in the DM, so pop me a message. If you're curious about what I've spoken about today, pop me a DM, just say curious, let's start a conversation. And yeah, I'd love to talk to you soon. So that's me for now. I hope that you have a lovely day, whatever you are doing, and an invitation to take some time out just for you. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.